just a poor wayfaring stranger.
Good morning, y'all. This here is a Christian trucker, and I just figured I'd make y'all another video, a little update of business and personal and everything that's going on. The youngin's feeling a lot better. He did go to the hospital, and but you know, they got him fixed up and got him back home, and me and his mama's been a little sick, but not nothing bad yet, so we ain't ended up in the hospital. What you're looking at there is New Orleans going over towards the West Bank. I go over there I go down to New Orleans once a week. I've been all over that city. It's pretty nice at times, but you know, sometimes it can make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. I was down there a couple weeks ago, and I was 2 blocks from a shooting where they had a shootout with a guy that had stole a car. That was down around Chalmette. Anyway, as far as the business goes, I did make a move that I thought y'all may be interested in, and that was we got our L.L.C. Now, the L.L.C. is an interesting creature. I want to do it as an S-corp, but when you start talking about the S-corps and stuff, that's all done for tax purposes. It's not in the filing. Like when you file it, it's just right now it's a single member LLC, but I will be branching out into doing other things with this LLC. Anyway, a couple things that you should do before getting your LLC. See, I've been a sole proprietor for 2.5, almost 3 years now, and I have commingled all of my finances, business and personal. You know, I do everything. I do have a business account, but we do everything. I have 2 accounts, one personal and one business. For the most part, we just do a few household expenses and stuff out of my personal. And the business is where I pay all bills from. And so before you get ready to do your LLC, you know, you got to be prepared. You got to have to separate a lot of things. I'm hoping to separate and get a separate post office box. I'm going to separate my phone lines. There's a lot of things that I'm going to be doing, but right now, the other day, we set up the LLC, and I set up a 3rd bank account. I'll have a bill account for the house, a personal account just for the household expenses, and then we will have the business account. And the business account will be solely for business-related issues. Because the way it was explained to me, if you don't do that, say you get 15, 20 trucks and somebody messes up real bad and they decide they want to come after you also, when you're commingling your finances, that will help them pierce that corporate veil, and you'll lose that protection that you have been working for. And, you know, that would be that'd be really bad if you lose everything personally also, if you have a bad lawsuit against your business. And on top of that, before you go to making business accounts and before you go to doing any kind of legal paperwork for your business as a sole proprietor, the name of your business in your state, you need to make sure that it's the one that is available. That was one of the most upsetting things, because the name that we were going to use was my last name, Trucking, and it's taken. Somebody in Jackson already has that name. So we had to shoot around. I was going to use my last name, Express, and it was already used in a company. And anyway, just about everything I could think of was used. So basically what we ended up doing was my last name, L.L.C. And what I'm thinking is, as the future goes, see, your LLC can own other LLCs. So it's going to be like the parent LLC, and it's going to own multiple other LLCs if all of my plans come if all my plans hatch, grow, and become beautiful little birds, time will tell. I'll be lucky right now just to pay my house next year. I just want to pay it off. I'm trying to set my goals high, but in actuality, I know what I need to do. I need to get out of debt. I need to make sure my bank accounts are secure. I'm wanting to put on a few trucks next year, but I'll be happy just, ending up with my authority and having one truck, maybe 2 trucks by end of next year. But, ideally I'll have a lot more if things go really, really good. But I won't be disappointed if I just end up with 1 or 2 by the end of next year and, my bills paid off. But you have to set those goals each year. Some people like to have them set and work through them for 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30 years. They've got it all planned out in the book. And I do recommend, I started a business journal, and it's not something that I'm going to journal in every day, but it's strictly for my business ideas, my plans, maybe some of the things that happen during the weeks. But right now it's mainly for my future plans, so I can look back on it, and if those plans slip my mind, which they sometimes do, I'll have them wrote down. Or if I want to look back and say, what was I thinking? Whenever I mess up, I can do that also. Anyway, those pictures of the camp that y'all have been watching, that's my dad's house. I just figured y'all might like to look at some of it. That plastic wrapper on the bottom, he's been prepared for winter. See, today it's 28 degrees down here. Everything's frosted up. It gets down around 20 and we start losing pipes because we don't put it deep underground, And as y'all can see, his house is up off the ground, so all his pipes is right under his floorboards, so he had to wrap it up. Yeah, getting the L.L.C is a great step, and whenever I can finally get everything separated. Now, she recommended that I get a CPA because I did my own taxes last year, and I'm planning on doing my own taxes this year. So CPA is really not what I want to do. Even though you can write off having it and all of that kind of stuff, I really wanted to do my own taxes. And I may do my own taxes yet. Nothing is set in stone at the moment. I just need to do a little bit more study because, with the L.L.C, heck, at this moment, I'm not even sure how to do the payroll. Because instead of working out of that big account, I'm going to have to start paying myself a regular paycheck. And that's going to be a little strange for me and the family. We're used to doing everything out of that one account and not having to worry about a paycheck. Now I've got to set myself up on a regular salary. Because I made everything effective January 1st. So that way I can finish my taxes through this year and then start fresh in January. And the idea of having a regular check again is kind of gross. But hey, it is what it is. So I've got to set up my own payroll and make preparations to do others. And also I was told that if I have 5 or more employees, I have to be set up for workers' compensation. So 4 is the magic number at the moment. Get to 4 and then see what I want to do from that point. We did have a repair on the truck. Y'all know I was having an ABS light issue. And we went in there and they did all the checks and everything. And, well, they ended up having to reprogram the brake system. They had to get on the phone with Meritor. And supposedly it took them like 4 hours just to get done on the phone with Meritor because they don't have enough service techs for the U.S. And anyway, we got that done, and the ABS is fine now. Everything works great because that whole system, I mean, like my own guard, it would light up like it was going to work, but as soon as you pushed in the parking brake to move, it would go to disabled. So, you know, you kind of miss that cotton picking thing. You get so used to having it because it tells you how fast the people in front of you are going, and it slows you down if you don't see somebody slow in front of you. And it beeps at you constantly, seems like. No. It was beeping constantly when it was messing up because sometimes it would go beep boop, beep boop, and it would do that sometimes all day. So luckily we finally got that fixed. And from what I understand, the ABS light, it's kind of a funny creature. So like if it's on all the time and you get pulled over, it's a DOT infraction. And I think that is a shutdown if it's on all the time. That's why we could not run with it staying on. Now, if it's off and won't come on, it's just a broken light, like just a slap on the hand, small ticket. It's not like a shutdown or anything like that. But if it stays on all the time and I guess you've seen it, they can shut you down. I guess a lot of it depends on the DOT officer himself. I don't pretend to know all about it. I just know that having the ABS light on all the time was annoying, and it messed with my own guard system, and I wasn't going to take the risk of being put out of service. Also, you cannot go behind the Freightliner Cascadia dash and take the bulb out because that system that they have in that dash is sealed. There's a sealed box behind there, and you can't just go in there because I've been having a bright light that comes when you have your lights on bright. Sometimes that little blue light will shine and sometimes it won't. You know, Freightliners are known to have a few gremlins, and my windshield does leak a little bit back behind there every now and then, which Freightliners are also known for having leaking windshields. But I do like our windshield system because it don't cost me $1,000 to get a windshield replaced. I have 2 separate windshields, one on each side, and each one of them is usually about $200. So, as far as the truck is going, I'm really proud of the way she's running. We went ahead and got her serviced, and when they serviced, I had it serviced at the same place I did last time. And on the paperwork, he stated on the paperwork that they had to remove a fuel filter, and it gave it a hard time because it was installed wrong. That's right. It was really hesitant this last time, and it was because they had installed a fuel filter wrong. Oh, I was aggravated, but I'm glad that I went ahead and did the service a little bit early so I could at least know what was going on with my truck. Because I was getting the occasional check engine light to pop up. That could have got costly out there on the road somewhere, and there wouldn't really been no recourse for me. What were they going to do? Maybe pay for me a service? They're not going to pay me much. Anyhow, business is doing good. I got my L.L.C started. We got our new bank account for the bills started. And there may be a possibility that I have to start a different business account for the L.L.C name, because the name that I have on the business account now has already been taken. So we'll let you know how all that works out, but separation of the business and personal is in full effect. God bless, and we'll catch you on the next ride.